Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builders Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look at the Hager 951P. This is what's called a double coat hook. Sorry, I had it upside down. A double coat hook. I have one removed from the packaging here. Let's take a look at it now. This is really probably more appropriately called a coat and hat hook. Coat and hat is generally how you'll see these. A fairly unique design to Hager. I don't know of anyone else's that looks exactly like this. It's about 1.4 pounds of basically solid brass. This is in a 26D finish, which means satin chrome. It would be better to call this 626, assuming that this is all brass, which I believe it to be, which would make it satin brass plated over brass with a clear coat. Let's take some basic dimensional properties of this item. An absolute overall dimension would be about 5 5/8, it looks like. Maybe 5 3/4. A projection off the face down to the coat, about 2 5/8. And then to the hat portion, looks like it's about 3 1/4. Okay. Diameter of the face, about 2 7/8. Diameter of the base, about 1 7/8. That doesn't, did I say that right? Yeah, about 1 7/8 on both. I apologize. Now, this is going to include a disc that you will attach to the wall, a piece of solid brass. It will include fasteners. There's an Allen wrench in there that you can see. Actually, it should be like this. And what happens is this gets attached to the wall. This will sit over this. The back side there features that set screw. When you get that set screw tied into the notch or the bird's mouth in the receiving plate with the Allen wrench is how you're going to secure that. You'll tighten that. And I can get it a bit tightened just to the point where it doesn't fall out. Okay. There you go. This is part of a system that Hager has of trim and auxiliary hardware. Of course, the name Hager is synonymous with hinges, but they do have other product lines, which we'll discuss near the end of this video. Let's switch to the screen view, where we can take a closer look at all of the other supporting information regarding the 951 and other details that Hager has in general. Let's do it now. If you've not hit subscribe yet, we would very much appreciate if you did, and hopefully you're enjoying this video. Now, let's get back to it. Okay, let's take a look at this Hager 951 double coat hook, straight satin chrome, 951 double coat hook, satin chrome, type double hook, concealed mounting. Gives you some dimensions that we've gone over. There are some images that we have here. Let's look at them now. There it is in its packaging. You'll notice that this says 952. This is a mislabel. This is a 951. There is the item shown upside down. And we have some additional images here as well. Again, unintentionally showing that rotated. By the time you're seeing the images, they'll be rotated the proper orientation. That would be showing the underside of the unit and the set screw. The back side, again, upside down. And another image showing a little closer up that set screw. The disc that allows you to attach it to the wall. It's got a conical shape here, and that's to allow that set screw to tighten down a little bit better. Hold it more securely from being pulled off the wall versus it being flat. Your fastener package, a couple of plastic anchors, and then your Allen wrench for the set screw. Now, the product catalog is here. Let's click on that. That's going to show us these hooks from Hager, a variety of different shapes available. Not a lot of options when it comes to finish, I've noticed. US 3 and 26D, so polished brass and satin chrome only. 951. So 2 pages of material here for you to look at. There's also below this video a link to the manufacturer's page as seen here. And when you click on that, you'll be able to pull up not only all of the Hager products that we sell by means of this horizontal navigation, but also a link to the manufacturer's full-line product catalog and their website. And you get into that full-line product catalog and you'll see it's a 650-page document, all things represented on their cover. It's not just hinges from Hager, continuous hinges. This would probably be either an exit device trim or a cylindrical lock set, closers, gasketing, residential thresholds, European-style profile cylinders, bypass, bifold, pocket sliding, low-energy operators, exits, pin and barrel hinges, trim and auxiliary. Other things are not shown here. They can do accessory items like signage, and they do a variety of different filler plates that the hollow metal industry would use. Basically everything for the door and frame, except the door and frame itself. Let's wrap up this video on camera. If you've not hit subscribe yet, we would very much appreciate if you did, and hopefully you're enjoying this video. Now, let's get back to it. Now, in conclusion, if you have any questions on this Hager item or any other Hager product, please feel free to reach out to us. My family has been selling Hager since the 1970s. Our sales rep, his name is Bob Julier. He was the Hager rep from about that time, or maybe the 80s. I wasn't there until sometime in the 1990s, mid-90s, maybe 95, 96, something like that, right in that area. Yeah, that's when he retired. An expert of a hardware man is who Bob Julier was and still is. I know that he's retired and, lives a happy retired life. And there's always something special about encountering someone with his skill level. I did a job of some wood doors that were manufactured by a company that he also represented because he was an independent sales rep, wasn't a direct Hager employee. We also did some swing clear hinges on the doors. This was for a hotel in Rosemont, Illinois, a very iconic piece of architecture, probably from the 60s. Contractor calls and says, "Your doors are no good." Okay, let's untangle that. Yeah, the doors don't close, and these were pairs of doors going from ballrooms to back of house. And I was extremely new in the industry at that time. Maybe I was 3 years into my career, and enough to be able to order pairs of wood doors, fire doors, in fact, prepped for exits, hinges, hollow metal frames. Weren't a lot of openings, maybe 3 openings, or maybe 6, I don't remember. Your doors don't close, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, metal edge sets, because that's what you needed on pairs of fire doors. This was still neutral pressure, and I'm just like, still so early in my career that I'm thinking I'm the one who made the mistake, which goes away after time. We go out to the job site. First of all, let me back up. I asked Bob if he would go with me. He says, "Absolutely, I'll go with you." "Bob, there's a problem with the doors, your doors." "What do you mean?" "Well, the guy says they won't close." He's like, "You know what? Let's just go to the job site." We went a day or two later, met the contractor, and we were not at the opening for more than 7 seconds. Bob Julier says, "We're out of here. We're done with this. We're done." The contractor hadn't walked over to see us yet, and we are literally leaving because he's like, "We're leaving." "Bob, what happened?" He immediately could tell the problem. Immediately. The swing clear hinges were bottoming out to the perpendicular wall such that whoever attached the hinges literally had to crank the screws down, and it then bent the hinge out, which then took the door and moved it out. And now the doors would not close. And while that would have been obvious to a lot of people, it was just the total command over the subject matter that he had that was most impressive. So whether you work for Hager or any other company and you're an expert at that level, or you are on your path to becoming one, there's really nothing better than an expert. And that will always be my memory of happy Hager memories. That will be amongst the happiest, that's for sure. Obviously, I explained to the client, here's what the problem was. He didn't notice it. All he knew were the doors weren't closing. And he was a typical Chicago sort of fellow. I'll let you draw your own conclusion as to what that means. But we were done. There was nothing else for us to do. Everything we supplied was perfect, to the 16th of an inch, complete, time to pay me kind of thing. Any questions on the 951 double hook or any other Hager product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you very much. Thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please click thumbs up. Please subscribe and maybe even send the video to someone that you know. Thank you.